All right, so I've got a real treat today. We're here at wonderful pond just overlooking Orchard, actually Upper Straits, and this is my mom, and she's always been there for me. And my toughest times, my mom has always been there for me. My dad unfortunately passed away earlier, but my mom is, when I went through a really tough time, was always encouraging and loving and always there for me. And I tell her that quite often, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Did I pay you to say that?
No.
Okay. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about these riots and police, and I looked to her. She's several generations, 82, and I thought, get some wisdom from somebody who's wiser. That would be a good thing to do for all of us. So have you ever had a ticket or do you have any felonies or anything like that?
I have one ticket.
Is that a felony?
No.
Okay. Tell me about that ticket.
It's for impeding traffic.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
I was going too slow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so how old were you when you got this ticket?
Oh, 50.
50. Okay. But you have gone over 100 miles an hour and you didn't get caught the one time, right?
Yes, twice I've done that.
Was that from a bank robbery?
No.
Okay, just checking. So I wanted to get her feeling about the police. She's she's as an outside. You really like to do a lot of research, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So, what's your feeling about the police? Do you trust the police?
Not really, no.
Okay, as an 82-year-old white woman, why would you say that?
Well, if you call the police, you don't know if you're going to get a nice policeman or a not nice policeman.
Gotcha. And you had in West Bloomfield, you had a break-in in one of your cars, right?
Yeah.
And the police officer that came out that handled this, it was probably petty theft, like under $300, something like that, right?
I don't remember.
It was a broken window and a couple things were stolen.
Yeah.
So it's a good guess. But what did the police officer say, the West Bloomfield police officer say to you?
He wound up by saying, "You live in West Bloomfield, you can afford it."
So that made you feel really good as a taxpayer, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. It made us mad.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the ridiculous things to say. So, and that's us living in there was other people on our block. There were Indian people from India and a couple other things. But
Oh, yeah, we used to call our subdivision the Little United Nations.
yeah, because there was a lot of different folks there. But anyway, so that was the treatment there. And then when my father passed away, interesting thing that officer said, this is just a few interactions that this young lady has had with police officers. But what did that police officer say?
Well,
When he came in, you sat down.
and he told me that my husband had died in a car accident. And then he started asking me a lot of questions, whether Mark drank, and a lot of other things that I really didn't think were appropriate at the time.
So he basically started interrogating you like my father had done something wrong and he was a bad person.
Yes.
So that didn't make you feel very good, did it?
No.
And the other thing that I found very, very funny is that he left within about 15 minutes or something like that.
15 minutes, yes.
And what did he say to console you in the end?
I got to get back to work.
So he has to get back to work, but I always thought that was part of the police officer's job. And what would they be getting back to work for? Maybe generating money for the city?
The city, the state, and the courts.
Yeah. So when you said you didn't really trust police officers, who do you think that the police officers in America really serve?
Most of the time they serve the city they work for.
and they're looking for greater revenues and how they can. That's
That's
in
it.
your own words.
They look for revenue because they're going to get either money from a ticket, or if it's a drug deal or they think it's a drug deal, they can take all the property. And there was one man in a suburb close to us that never did get his money back, and he was found innocent.
And he was a mattress stuffer, and he owned a bowling alley, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. He did own a bowling alley. He wasn't in drugs. And
And he was exonerated, but never got the money back.
that's right.
How many millions of dollars was that?
3.
$3 million that the police stole here in town. It wasn't West Bloomfield PD. We'd have to do a little bit more research on that. I think I know, but I don't want to say and be wrong. But those are the real stories of just our little, and those are all white communities. How much more in a different community are they doing these things? These are the things that I'm going to talk about and give you some ideas of what I feel from listening to my mom and just making some of my own assessments and just doing my own research of how I think that the police should revamp. One of them is getting rid of the union. And then I'm going to talk to you later about that. Now, let's talk about I want to find out from my mom how she felt about the rioters and what she felt, where the rioters were targeting, and what did you feel about the rioters?
They're terrible. They should be put in jail.
And why should they be put in jail? Were they were hurting people, not just property, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And there were several people who were killed. A cop and a retired policeman in St. Louis was killed by rioters and looters. There have been all sorts of people killed. There have been several, what I assume were good policemen, killed for no reason. Some lady was shot in her police car. She was sitting there and they shot her.
Yeah, this type of thing, even though we said all these things that we don't like about the police, this is just, murder is murder and wrong is wrong, and there's a right way to handle this, and a peaceful demonstration is always, of course, the best.
Oh, yes. A peaceful demonstration is fine. It says so in the Constitution. But anything violent is just not good. You don't know who you're hurting.
Right, so they might be taking vengeance on the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because doesn't it say in the Bible that God is the one that gives us, does the vengeance and not us?
Yes.
Yeah. Although I hope I can live by that if somebody ever tries to hurt my family. Anyway, moving on from that. So, yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion on this stuff. And what do you think would be a great way to kind of start healing our nation? What do you think we should do, and how should we conduct our lives? Although you've conducted your life very, very well, and you're always friendly with people, how should we conduct our lives?
We're all human beings, period. There's no black, there's no white. I don't like the whole idea of black and white because nobody's white. We all have some color in our skin, or, well, I guess we're albinos. They are white, but that's an unusual disease. And the black people are all different shades of brown. They're not really black, and they're beautiful. And everybody should just be in love with everyone else as human beings.
There's nothing else I can say.